So changing the lower arms on this Leaf because the bushes are aging rapidly, and I can feel a bit of movement on the suspension when I'm on the steering, when I'm accelerating and braking. The bottom ball joints on these are renowned for doing nothing for a long time and then suddenly failing, so I prefer to put arms on because it's basically just 3 bolts and a little bit of work, saves a lot of time. While I'm in here, I'm going to just change the anti-rollbar links because they wear for a pastime. So yeah, front wheels off, car's up in the air. We're going to set to it. It doesn't actually need many tools at all. We've got a few sockets and a few spanners, and I'm going to probably need a lightweight drift to get the bottom pinch bolt out. But other than that, it's very straightforward. So I'm going to start in here. On this back bush, you can see I need to put a spanner on the top, socket on the bottom, and whiz the bolt out. Then I'm going to whiz the bolt out of the front bush as well. And then on the bottom ball joint, a pair of 14mm tools. I'm going to use a socket with an extension so I can get it on the air gun, and just a regular spanner for the other end. And then the joint will pull apart, pop a new arm in, dead easy. So while the wheel's off, it gives us a good chance to check the brake pads, the discs, and importantly the compliance bushes, which on this one are beginning to fail. This has done about 130,000 kilometers since these arms were fitted, so I'll pop a new pair of arms into this one while it's in the workshop, and then it's all good to go. The ball joints are probably acceptable, but because it's a known failure point, I just put a new set of arms on. While I'm here, I also do anti-rollbar links because they can also get very rattly. So that's one for a little bit further down the road as I get more into it. I always use a squirt of rust remover. It helps to make the bolts come out really easily. So I've sprayed it onto everything that I'm going to be dismantling later on as part of the suspension job, but by doing it now, has a good chance to soak in while I'm working. I'm actually starting both sides with the top anti-rollbar link mounts, because once the bottom arms are out of the way, the bottom anti-rollbar links are much easier to access. So here we go. The top bolts on these anti-rollbar links often only come out halfway and then start to get a bit awkward. I find there's absolutely no point in messing around with them, and I get my friendly cutting tool just to zap through the bolt. There's no point messing around, we're just going to chuck these away anyway. So that took about 10 seconds. Life really is too short to mess around with trying to undo seized bolts, especially on components that you are just chucking in the bin. So the bolts came out as easily expected. They've only been in there about 130,000 kilometers, which is pretty much the expected lifespan of these aftermarket front wishbones. So yeah, going on to do the bushes now. 21mm top and bottom with the buzz gun. That'll come out in a second. Bolt drops down, which makes it nice and easy. And then move to the back one. Slightly different sizes, but the same principle. So nut and bolt out, and then the arm should just pull away. At this stage, to make sure there's no problem with the drive shaft pulling out of the diff and dropping the oil that I changed yesterday, I'm going to undo the nut on the end of the axle. I've already taken off the locking ring and sourced a new split pin for it. So I'm going to pop the nut off, which means that I can draw the drive shaft back out of the hub to give myself plenty of room down below here with the bottom ball joint. But it also means that I can put some very thick grease onto the splines of the CV joint here, which is part of the TSB for the front drive shaft to stop that click, and then I can get it done up nice and tight afterwards, and it makes everything better. A small lever helps just to get in behind the bush and lever it out of its mounting hole, front and back. And then we should just be able to probably put a splitting fork in here to drop the ball joint out of the bottom mount. So the arm is down and now hanging from this bottom ball joint, and I can feel that it's not as tight as would be nice anyway. So it definitely makes sense to change the whole lot at once because it's so straightforward. I'm going to just give it a tap with a hammer here. Should come out cleanly, but if it doesn't, I'll put a ball joint splitting fork in here and then we'll be away. So yes, the arm came out as easily as I expected. The ball joint is slightly floppy. The front bush isn't too bad, but the back bush, as you can see, is completely gone. So that was allowing the arm to flap up and down and causing all sorts of instability issues. From time to time, it was actually also knocking on the subframe. So it's just so much easier to change the whole lot and then it's job done for another 100,000+ kilometers. Ironically, on the arm the other side, the bush isn't as bad, but the ball joint is awful. So ironically, the bush on the second side is better than on the other side, but the bottom ball joint is absolutely shot. Loose, flappy, you can hear it knocking. So yeah, as with all suspension and brake work, always in pairs across the axle, so there's no instability or strangeness. Once this is all back together, obviously I'll get the alignment checked too, and then we're away. And now that both bottom arms are out of the way, you can see that the access to the bottom bolt on this anti-rollbar link is much better. Plenty of room for swinging spanners and so on. So we'll get the anti-rollbar links changed while the arms are out, and then we'll put the arms back in. Sadly, even with the anti-rollbar down as far as it'll go, there's no room to get the buzz gun on to make it easy. So I have to resort to doing it manually. This particular joint, and they're not all the same, but this one uses a hex tool in the end of the thread, and then I've got these pass-through ratchet spanner with pass-through heads that I can use on the nuts, and then it's just a relatively straightforward, although manual, job to whip the nut off the thread, and then I can think about fitting the new one. So the last of the bottom bolts on the anti-rollbar links are undone. Taken away the old links. I'm doing up the bottoms first because obviously the access is good, but you need to bear in mind on these not to do them up with a buzz gun because the bushes inside here are only designed to take a few degrees of movement. They're not designed to take rotation. So if you rotate them with the buzz gun by mistake while you're doing them up, it can actually destroy the bush as you put it together. So the bottom of the old anti-rollbar links are done up the way they're intended. The top ones I've just placed into their holes to get the anti-rollbar itself out of the way while we're doing the bottom arms. The nut is obviously loose, so I've left the spanner with the other nuts and bolts that I'm going to have to refit later, so there's no chance of forgetting to do up these top two bolts before the car goes out. So I've got good access to the splines on the front drive shafts now. Just going to put some really thick heavy duty grease in there and then rebuild everything as per the Nissan issued TSB. I'm not going to use a new nut because I know how to tighten these up properly when you're doing it at home, obviously, as long as you do it up to the right torque, all will be well. The nuts are hugely expensive though. So there's plenty of grease on the CV joints on both sides. For the moment it actually helps to keep the legs swung out of the way like this, so there's plenty of room for refitting these bottom arms, which we're moving on to now. I like to put a dab of copper grease on the bottom ball joints for where they slide into the suspension arms. It makes it so much easier to pull them back out when it next needs doing. Probably with the amount of miles we do, another 3 years like these were when I fitted them in July 3 years ago when we bought the car. And we've done plenty of mileage since. So yeah, that just makes life a lot easier. I'll do all the retaining bolts and stuff too when the time comes. So fitting the new arms, it's literally just a case of pushing the bush into its mounting point. I like to put a bolt in loosely while I do the other bush, so this one doesn't come popping back out and being a nuisance. So we're going to go and do the back one now. So the back bush is pushed into place and I've loosely fitted a bolt at the back as well to stop it swinging around. Now all I've got to do is push the hub home on the CV joint, pull the arm down far enough to get the bottom ball joint to go into the bottom of the suspension arm, then I can put the pinch bolt in and do everything up tight. I find it beneficial to angle the bottom ball joint so that the position is very, very close to where it's going to go when you try and get it in. Just makes lining everything up much more easy. If you look through the bolt hole while you're pushing the joint up into position, you can see when the cutout that's on the ball joint pin itself lines up with the hole in the bottom arm, which makes it so much easier for putting the bolt in. Once that bolt's in, we can tighten everything up. These bushes, because they're mounted vertically, we don't need to worry about getting the suspension level before tightening them up. So this side's basically done, barring the bit of work with the buzz gun. And there's a little trade tip here when you're doing up the back bolt, because the bolt itself gets so close to the bodywork, always use the the C end rather than the ring end, because if you can get the ring end over it now, you try and get it off when it's all done up and the shaft of the bolt is sticking out through it. So C end of the spanner to hold it steady, and we're away. A tapered bar like this makes it very easy to get the bush lined up nicely all the way through. You can see it's just touching the axle at the top there, but we're nicely lined up. And a dab of copper grease on the shaft of the bolt stops the bolt from seizing into the inner of the bush, which can happen on vehicles which don't get this kind of maintenance regularly. Okay, so that's that all done. Bottom arms are in, all the 3 bolts are done up tight. I've tightened up the top anti-roll bar link here. I've refitted the axle nut with its retaining, whatever you call that thing, and a new split pin. Always use new split pins for what they cost. It's never worth reusing one. They can fail if they're used more than once, and you don't want that happening because it can drop out.